Seconds out, delighted to be joined by Nisse Sauerland, old friend of the channel, I think it's fair to say. What's life
Definitely.
looking like for you at the moment in these current lockdown restrictions that have been eased slightly from yesterday, I believe, although there's a lot of confusion about
I've got to be honest. I have no idea what has happened.
that?
Yeah, I don't think anyone does. I think he's explaining at the moment in the House of Commons. So, yeah, I think like anyone, just a little bit, sort of, it started off quite nice. You get to spend a lot more time with your family, as you know, as a journalist. You spend a lot of time from home, away from home. Obviously, it's nice to be with the kids and stuff, but after a while you get a little bit restless. I've been on a plane for a record amount of time in the last, I don't know, 20 odd years, so it's over it now. I've got to say, this homeschooling as well is a nightmare. So, yeah, they're going to be in Borstal soon, probably at this rate. But no, all good, all good. I mean, look, doing what we can, aren't we? But it's not exactly fun anymore. Let's just say.
What's the current kind of plan with Sauerland Boxing as much as you can plan ahead? When do you think you'll be coming back? Which country will be first to see an event?
Um, I would say Germany at the moment looks like the front runner. They're starting the Bundesliga back up again with no fans. We're very lucky, Angela Merkel, I think, is a very good leader, and she's done a great job. I think she's in her fourth term now in Germany, which is, I think, is a record by German standards. Even I think that's probably the longest anyone's been in power there. But yeah, I think Germany's probably the next to come. Well, let's see. Your guess is as good as mine. But we're telling our fighters to be in training. We're saying to be ready. But which I understand it's a frustrating time for everyone, but for a fighter or for anyone when you're training, when you're fighting, it's hard, isn't it? And yeah, let's just hope you can get it all back to normal very soon. I think we're going to have a very jam-packed end to the year.
Have there been any guidelines imposed or suggested by the German body in the same way there have been by the British Board of Control here?
No, I think we're very fortunate in the UK to have the British Border Control, who are very how do I say it without sort of insulting anyone? But they've got their finger on the pulse. They push for boxing. They push to do shows as well, and also they would never let a show go ahead without the right protection in place, with the correct guidelines and whatever else. So, I mean, Germany, it's a little bit slower. We use the Austrian board, we use the German board, but I think it's more on our own back to get the guidelines in place, because obviously this is unfounded territory for so many people. And I think, look, we just need to find out what is okay and what is not, and stick to it. I mean, look the UFC on Saturday, that went through, didn't it? I heard 3 people tested positive before the fight. That's just what I heard, and they were all in the same hotel. So it's, who knows? But I mean, if I see the news today, 250 people died, which is obviously a very sad, heartbreaking number. But if I look at it, a boxer who's in his prime and at the prime of his earning capacity at the moment, you'd think, well, I'll take that risk, But again, I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but the more I look at the numbers at the moment, and then coming down, I think the lockdown needs to ease sooner rather than later. My opinion.
Do the TV deals that you have in place mean that behind closed doors shows are viable for you guys?
Yeah, I think anyone with a TV deal at the moment, you know, it's just, look, you're in a good position because broadcasters, I guess, need content. I think the let's say the under system, the ecosystem, sorry, of boxing in a lot of places, that's going to suffer. That the ticket sellers, who need to get their fights and get their records up, etc., etc. That's going to suffer for until we maybe even find some kind of cure or whatever for corona. I mean, that is my worry. They can't do it behind closed doors because they rely on ticket money to make a profit. The promoters do, at least, but at the same time, sorry, my kids are demanding 1 minute. But at the same time, their margins are tight as it is. So saying it's like a restaurant where you say, oh yeah, you can have 50% capacity. But what if their break evens at a 60% capacity? Yeah. They're expected to go on and lose 10% every night, and they have to sell out those 50. I'm just praying for. I Google every day. I Google. What do I Google? Coronavirus cure and coronavirus vaccine. I Google it every day. Because that's the way I see it at the moment. That's what's needed now. I think the best. We need a cure. We need a vaccine.
On to kind of more positive thoughts.
Sorry to bring your day down.
Yeah, it just depressed me, but it's fine.
Where's Monday as well?
Yeah, I know. Well, all the days kind of don't matter anymore, do they?
Mate, they just blend into each other. Well, the homeschooling part. But your kid's, what, 2 now? No. 4?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
he'll start like full-time school in September, so I'm kind of not too worried about him.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, from last night's speech, I'm like, well, okay, so one of my kids is reception, one of them's in year 2. So the reception kid can go to school, but the year 2 can't. But then they can come back in effect. It just makes no sense.
I think a lot of parents are kind of deciding not to send them even if the schools do reopen, just because of the risk. But how do you socially distance kids of that age? It just seems...
Oh, no, my kids are going straight to school. I mean, scientists in Switzerland already, they came out with something that kids under 10 can't spread the disease. And they're encouraging them to hug their grandparents.
That's one way to find out.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I mean, the scientists in Switzerland are pretty good. They've got a lot of pharmaceutical companies over there. They're innovators.
Next week we're going to hear rush of Swiss hospitalizations of OAP.
Yeah, don't take my advice on this. Whoever's listening, so I'm going to have a little sip.
Yeah, that's fine. When boxing eventually does resume, who would you kind of pick out from the Sauerland Boxing stable who we should be looking out for end of this year, next year as well?
I think there's a lot to choose from. There's a lot of guys who are just at that point of making that move, and that's why it's even more frustrating. Is that they're not world champions, and but they're so close, and I just hope that they don't lose the impetus. We have Filip Hrgović, who's making big strides as a heavyweight in the heavyweight scene. He's 10-0 now. I think everyone who knows about boxing knows about him. UK wise, we've got Zach Parker, who should be made mandatory soon, hopefully for Billy Joe. But I think hopefully he's fighting Canelo. Let's see on that one. In the UK, I manage a guy called Jordan Thompson, who signed with Frank Warren. Very good fighter, very, very good fighter. And then German-wise, we have a very good fighter called Abbas Barral.
Yeah.
He fought in the UK on the O2 card, light middle, very good. Been preparing with Adam Booth. He's going to fight, I think, on March. When was it? 28th.
Yeah.
28th. God, you got a good memory.
Yeah, I was looking forward to the show.
No, he wasn't fighting that card. No,
Oh no.
that was Avanesian against Kelly.
Yeah,
It
28th.
was
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was the weekend after. He was
Oh
fighting on
yeah.
April
April 4th.
4th, I think, in Germany. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, he was preparing with Josh Kelly. So yeah, and then we got a really good female fighter called Sophie Arlish.
Okay. Yeah.
She's only 18 years old. I think we got Dennis Radovan, we got Vincent Feigenbutz is dropping down in weight to
That's it.
middleweight.
Okay.
He's got a very good trainer. He's going to start working with, I think. But yeah, look, we've got a lot of talent. We got a lot of guys who are just on the cusp of making it. They just need to sort of get that title shot.
Before I let you go, one thing I did want to quickly ask you about, more of a light-hearted topic.
Yeah.
The kind of cult figure status that seems to have attached itself to your brother. You obviously still know him just as your brother. Do you find it incredibly amusing that he's become this like larger-than-life figure on social media and TV?
Yeah, I mean, no, look, it's we're I go out to the guys across the road who live across the road from me, top guy, and he's like, oh, let's have a night out with your brother. I'm like, why? He goes, yeah, he looks like a fun guy. I was like, he's not actually that fun to go out with. He's not that bad, and I think he'd rather go out with me on a night out. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, we get on very well. I'm very lucky, and I keep saying that to my kids. It's thank God as well during lockdown. You've got a son, right?
Yeah.
So it must be, being on his own it's without his mates must be quite hard, right? I mean, the little ones here, they've got each other, and me and my brother always growing up, we were always very close, and we're still very close. We're very lucky to have a very good relationship. And if I hear about brothers and sisters that don't speak anymore or grown apart and maybe don't have the relationship that they used to, that breaks my heart, because that's your blood at the end of the day, and that's an important thing, I think, and it's like I keep saying to my two girls who literally just keep fighting and punching each other and whatever else, but then they love each other at the end. It's like me and my brother are very lucky to have a very good connection. We don't always agree.
When you see some of the kind of funnier stuff on social media, do you ever kind of give him a call or a text and say, "Oh, have you seen what they're saying about you now?" and kind of rib him a little bit?
Nah, not really. I just find it quite funny, because it's actually quite far away from him. I think all this talk of the party animal and all that kind of stuff. He's more of a gym animal. He goes to the gym about 10 times a week.
He seems to play up to it a little bit now, though. He seems to kind of embrace it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what can you do, right? What can you do? You don't want to get rid of like a twitch or or sort of perception of you. Look, we all like a party now and then. But yeah, I mean,
are you glad it's not you?
Look, you know what? I don't know if I'm glad or not glad. I really don't mind either way, mate.
You've never struck me as someone who kind of looks for the spotlight or anything like that.
No. Look, I don't tend not to really go on Twitter that much anymore. I don't really, like, let's say I do an interview and I know some people will read the comments underneath, and sometimes my mates will forward me some funny ones because they'll read them. But they'll be like, what was the one that was quite a good one? Here's the stoner version of Kalle.
Yeah. More subdued version, yeah, I get it.
More like chill, know?
It's good. Something to be known for, I suppose.
Exactly.
What was the comments?
Yeah, what was the other one? There was one. Idiot Abroad.
Oh yeah.
They thought I was, what's the guy's name
Cole
in it?
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. But that's why I find it funny. But it was a good one. It was a good one.
Your hair must have been a lot shorter at the time, but
no, exactly. But yeah, no, it doesn't really bother me. And you know what? It's fun. You know, it's better to be talked about than not talked about for my brother. You know, and you know, I don't think any of it's really malicious or anything like that. So, you know, part and parcel of the game. You know.
Good stuff. It's been great to catch up with you, and
Cheers,
hopefully
Danny.
we can do it again soon, maybe in person.
Whenever you like, man. Look, yeah, hopefully by 2 meters and whatever else. Let's see what. Oh wait, let's see. Golfers in England can play again now. That's great.
Well, I'm sure we're all relieved to hear that news.
Yeah, that's great.
We'll
news,
get the old 5-iron out, or is that even a club? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about golf.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah,
I'll go down the local pitch and putt maybe, but
exactly. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah,
gets the ruffians off the streets.
Exactly.
Good stuff.
No more muggings because they're playing golf.
Yeah. The local Domino's that's now closed won't have kids outside it anymore. They'll all be at the golf course.
Yeah. No more knife crime.
Yeah, sorted. It's just what we
knives
need.
Down, clubs up.
Very good. Yeah, I like that. All right. Well, hopefully we'll do this again soon, and stay safe.
Always here, Danny. Have a good one, sir.
And you, mate. Take care.
Cheers, brother. Cheers, mate. Nice one.